Start it now.
So, good morning students. Today we will be seeing about paper chromatography. So already the practical class is over. So today I will be showing you how to perform paper chromatography. So first, to begin with, we will look at the requirements of this paper chromatography. So first we require paper. So what kind of paper you will be using? This is Wattmann's filter paper number 1. So there will be different grades, number 1, number 2 and all. So for paper chromatography, amino acid paper chromatography, we want Wattmann's filter paper number 1. So that is there. And we want amino acids, standard amino acid solution we are going to prepare. So this is how we are getting from the company. So this is from High Media company. This is amino acid kits. So here inside if you see all different amino acid, lysine, alanine, valine. So all these amino acids are there. So this will be in powder form. So if you look at it, will be in powder form. So this we are preparing into, we are reconstituting into liquid form. See like this. So this is 0.1 molar amino acid solution. This is isoleucine. So this is valine. All the amino acids which we are going to use is 0.1 molar. Okay. Then we require visualizing agent. So this is 0.3% ninhydrin. 0.3 gram of ninhydrin we are weighing and dissolving it in acetone. 100 ml of acetone. So that is 0.3% ninhydrin. So this is used as visualizing agent. Once after the chromatographic run, we are going to dry it and then spray this solution to visualize the spots. Then solvent is there. Solvent which we are using here is butanol, acetic acid and water. So butanol 60 ml, acetic acid 15 ml and water is 25 ml. So in that combination we are using. So this solvent we are pouring it into the chromatography chamber. So this is chromatography chamber. Inside if you see a petri dish placed here. So to the petri dish we have poured the solvent and we have saturated. We have kept for saturation of the chamber, chromatography chamber. Why we need to saturate? Because for the proper separation. Okay, so the saturation is important. So here if you see, except all these things, so some small pencil, scale, paper clips, tips and all is required. So pipette is required to load the amino acid sample and dryer to dry the spots. Now we will see how we are going to spot the samples. So this is Wattmann filter paper number 1. So this is cut into desired size, and using a scale we have to mark the spots now. See, first from the below 5 cm we have to leave, and from each side, from both the side, again 5 cm distance we have to leave, because we are going to fold the paper. Okay, so here is one spot, here is one spot. We are going to draw a line here. A thin line would be sufficient, no need to press and draw. So once these two, in between one more spot I am going to mark. Okay, so equidistant spots are marked. So this space and the space here is for folding of the paper. Once after spotting we are going to roll the paper, so this space is for that. And these 3 spots are the place where we are going to load the amino acid sample. So once we mark the spot, here we need to write the date and all. So first we will write the solvent used, that is acetic acid, butanol and water. So this is 25 ml, butanol is 60, this is 50. So totally it is 100 ml. Then sample is amino acid, standard, date and time. So time we are going to keep it at 3 p.m. now, once it is after finished, and date, then run time will be overnight. We will see the date and time, and then we will write this. So tomorrow morning 9 a.m. we will be taking out. So from around 17-hour run it will be. That is on 26/20. So this is required. Okay. So first we have written the solvent which we have used, butanol, acetic acid and water. Then the sample which we are going to use, amino acid standard. Then the date and time. So 3 p.m. we are keeping on 19th, and run time tomorrow morning 9 a.m. we are taking out the chromatogram once it is run. So one thing you have to take care while using this filter paper is you have to handle this using wearing a gloves itself, because the protein in our hands also might get interfered with the chromatographic run. So this is called filter paper. The process which we are doing is chromatography. Once after finishing whatever paper we are getting, that is called as chromatogram. Okay, so spots we have marked. Here again I will label now. So whatever amino acid we are putting here, that I am going to write it down. So first will be mixture 1, because on the same place I will be loading 4 amino acids. So first one will be glycine, then alanine, valine, then isoleucine. So all this 4 amino acid on the same spot. That is why I have written as mixture 1. Then here I will be putting leucine. Here I will put threonine. Okay. Now I will show how the amino acid has to be loaded. So this is, I told you, this is amino acid standard, 0.1 molar we have prepared. So I am taking the pipette now. This is adjusted to 5 microliter. Okay, the standard amino acid what we have prepared, we have to take 5 microliter using different separate tips, and we have to load it in the spots here. So first one I will show you. I am going to take the tip. First one is glycine. So glycine you can see here, GLY I have written. So glycine amino acid I am going to take. Okay, and here we have to place it simultaneously. The drying has to be done. So here I am going to place the amino acid spot glycine here. So once it is placed, it is dried. So glycine amino acid I have loaded here. It is also dried using a dryer. Then I am going to take a next amino acid, that is alanine. So ALA I have labeled. So this is alanine amino acid solution. Same 5 microliter I am going to take using a pipette. Then on the same spot I am going to place it. The spot or the point where you are loading, that should not exceed 0.5 centimeter, the width. Okay, you should be very careful in placing the amino acid spot, and it should be dried properly. So I'm placing alanine now. So similarly, valine and isoleucine also I have loaded here, and it is dried. Here I have loaded leucine, dried, threonine here, and it is dried. So all the amino acid loading is done now. Now we will be folding the paper. Okay. So we have to handle the paper carefully. We have to fold it inward. Okay. In a cylindrical shape we are going to fold it. Then we will be putting the paper clips. So once the paper clip is placed, the side where we have loaded amino acid, no, so that has to be kept on the solvent. So we will move towards this chromatography chamber. I am taking out the lid here. So this paper, I will place it here into the solvent. The solvent is already in the petri dish. We have left it for saturation. Now into that I am keeping this chromatography paper. And once it is placed, I am going to close the lid. So now I have kept the paper inside, close the lid, okay, and I have left it for the run. So from here you can see the solvent which is there in the petri dish, that is moving. It will move upwards. So this is ascending paper chromatography. The solvent will ascend and it will carry the amino acid along with it. So each amino acid has different RF value. So RF value, you all know it is relative fraction. So relative fraction. So how is that RF value calculated? By using solute front and solvent front. Solvent front is the solvent after the run is completed, how much the solvent has run. So that we are going to mark, and solute after spraying anhydrine, the spots wherever it is developed, we are going to mark it, and then we are calculating the RF value. Based on RF value only we are going to identify the amino acid, because here we are loading known amino acid. In some cases we need to identify unknown amino acid. So in that condition, unknown is identified based on the RF value. So we have kept it for the run now. So after the run we will see. So after the run, if you see, 3/4 of the solvent has been ascended. So at this point we are taking it out. Okay. So after overnight, that is around, okay, we are going to take out the paper now. So I am lifting the lid here, taking out the paper. Then I am removing the paper clip. So here if you see, 3/4 of the paper has been wet. Okay, so the solvent has been ascended till here. So this paper we are going to keep it in hot air oven and we have to dry it. So this is hot air oven. So inside we have placed one more blotting paper inside it, so the surface won't get exposed to the dust of some materials over there. So this paper I am going to place it here inside. Okay, and we will allow it to dry. So now this chromatogram has been dried. Okay, so here if you see, it is completely dried now. Now we have to spray an anhydrine solution, that is visualizing agent, and then again we have to keep. So one point which I forgot to tell you is, once after we are taking out from the chromatography chamber, the solvent front we have to mark. Okay, so this is where the solvent has reached. So above this it is not reached. So the run is over here. So this you have to mark and then keep it inside. Okay, after drying you have to spray an anhydrine, again keep it for dry. So before keeping inside the oven for drying, solvent front has to be marked. So this is visualizing the agent, that is 0.3% anhydrine I told you. So this we have to spray. So here if you see, till the solvent where it has reached, no? So everything we have to spray here. It should be even. So I have sprayed this. Then again I will be keeping this inside the hot air oven for drying. Okay, we will leave that for drying. So we have brought the paper from the hot air oven once it is dried. So after drying you can see the spots have been developed. So the amino acid will react with anhydrine and it will give the purple color spots here. So here threonine has moved till here, so I have marked the circle, I have encircled that spot, okay, and the middle point I am taking it and I am drawing one more line here. So the distance I am going to write down. So it is around, so the middle of the spot till here, till the starting point, it is around 6.2 centimeters. Okay. So similarly for other spots also I have already marked. So this is for leucine. So leucine has moved till here, so that is around 18.1 centimeter it has moved. We have to encircle the spot, take the middle point and measure in centimeters. So similarly here also. So this is glycine, next it is alanine, valine and isoleucine. So once the spots has been marked and how far it has moved, that also we have to write it down. 18.2, 14.8, 4.1, 8 centimeters. So all this we have marked. And the solvent front, before keeping it in hot air oven, we have marked, right? So that is around 26.4 centimeters. Now we are going to use these numbers for calculating RF value. Suppose for example glycine. So for glycine, RF value is equal to solute front divided by solvent front, right? So this is the formula. So solute front is the glycine till where it has moved. So 4.1 is that divided by 26.4. So we will get 0.155. So this RF value we are getting. Here I am telling it is glycine because already RF value I know. So I am telling this is glycine spot. So when you are identifying unknown spot, you have to just mark the spot, how far it has moved, calculate RF value. Based on the RF value, you are going to identify what amino acid it is. So similarly for next spot. So this is first spot. So the next spot, it is 8 centimeter. 8 divided by 26.4. So similarly for other spots also I have calculated. So this is for the first spot, 4.1 divided by 26.4, we are getting 0.155. Second spot, 8 centimeter it has moved. So 8 divided by 26.4, 0.303 we are getting. Next third spot is 14.8 divided by 26.4, 0.56 we are getting. So then the last spot, it is 18.2 divided by 26.4, it is 0.68. So similarly for leucine and threonine also I have calculated the RF value. So this is how RF value is calculated. So based on RF value we are going to identify what amino acid it is. Here it is known amino acid. Okay. So this chromatogram is used for separation also, identification also, and this spots again it can be separated, it can be dissolved, and particular amino acid can be isolated. This is not only for amino acid, it is used for carbohydrate also and drug metabolites also, plant pigments. Basically it was started to separate and study plant pigments. So now the wide variety of chromatography and different uses have been applied mainly in industrials, okay, pharma industry, fruit industry, drug companies. So all these companies, they make use of chromatography, but paper is not much used. Many different types of other chromatography with their own advantages and applications are there. So this is briefly I have told you all. Okay, so chromatography, how to perform paper chromatography, I have told you all. So I hope you all got it, how to perform a paper chromatography of amino acid. I'll just brief you out from the beginning what we have done, just the steps I would like to tell. So first what we have to do, Whiteman's filter paper number 1, we have to cut it into a desired size. After cutting, we have to, from the below 5 centimeters we have to leave, we have to draw a line. Then on both the ends, some amount of space, around 5 centimeters from both the sides, we have to make the spots. That space is for folding the paper in a cylindrical form. So Then equidistant spots are marked. Here in our experiment 3 spots I had marked. So in one spot I had loaded glycine, alanine, valine, isoleucine, then one more for leucine and threonine. So the spots have been marked. After marking the spot, we have to load the amino acid sample. So how much of sample? 5 microliter of amino acid solution. So amino acid kit I have shown you all. So powder form we have to reconstitute it to make a solution. Reconstitution 0.1 molar we have to prepare amino acid solution. So that solution we have to take 5 microliter we have to load using a micropipette. The spots has to be dried using a dryer. So all the spots we are loading, drying, then we have to keep it in the saturated chromatography chamber, saturated with the solvent. Solvent we are using is butanol, acetic acid and water. Concentration I have told you all, it is 60, 15 and 25. Butanol, acetic acid and water. So saturated chromatography chamber we are keeping the chromatography, and around 70 to 18 hours we are leaving the chamber as such for the solvent to rise. So this is ascending paper chromatography. So once the solvent has been ascended, 3/4 has been completed, after 17 to 18 hours run, we are taking out the paper, mark solvent front. How much the solvent has run, we are marking it using a pencil, keep it in hot air oven for drying. After it is dried, take it out, spray ninhydrin solution. Ninhydrin is 0.3% ninhydrin solution, that is also called as visualizing agent. Spray ninhydrin solution, again keep it in hot air oven for drying. Once after it is dried, the spots will be developed. That spots we are encircling it, center, middle point we are taking and calculating with the starting point. Okay, we have to write how far it has run. We have to write it down in a centimeter. Then solvent front, solute front. Both we are using to calculate RF value. Based on the RF value, we are going to identify the respective amino acid. So this is how paper chromatography is performed. I hope this is clear for you all. Thank you.